Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about dust extraction. Whilst when I'm cutting I generally use one of these masks. This is just a half face one and it's got filters that are suitable for MDF, so filter out most of the nasty stuff. There still tends to be a lot of airborne particles in my workshop. This is one of my shelves and as you can see there's a film of really thin dust which hasn't been picked up by the dust extraction system that I built in a previous video, and has probably been blown out the back of the exhaust port of my very crappy Titan vac. I say crappy because it doesn't filter, it's very powerful and it does the job. I've ordered a new vac that's got an M-class filter, so that should help with the particles being blown out the back of the extractor system. But one thing I'm quite keen to do is try and reduce the number of airbound particles just floating about in the garage. Father Christmas has been quite kind to me this year. This air filtration system from Rutlands. I think he paid about £130 plus £5 delivery. It's got a remote control on it that adjusts the speed, and you can also set a timer for it to run up to 4 hours. The unit itself is quite compact and runs at between 50 and 60 decibels, so it's quite quiet. It's also quite light and weighs about 19 pounds or 8.5 kilos. Dimensions are 43 by 52 by 27 centimeters, so it is quite compact, and the idea is that you hang it 2 meters high in your workshop and it filters the air. I'm going to turn it on now so you can see how noisy or quiet it is. I'm about 2 feet away with the microphone. So that's the lowest speed. And that's the highest. Hopefully you can still hear me over it. It sucks the air in the back and then blows it out the front. You can feel it and see it being blown. This is a view of the inside of the back. It's got this 2-stage filter, so it's got this kind of cardboard one that clips in, and then inside you've got these filters as well. So hopefully it's going to trap quite a lot of the airborne dust and particles. I've put the filter back on and now I'm going to mount it on the ceiling using the hooks that are on here. And then I'll do a bit of an experiment to see how much dust it collects. Mounted on the ceiling using these hooks, a little chain which you can vary the length of. I've got it quite short because I haven't got an awful lot of headroom in my garage. And then these hooks which I've just mounted in the joists using a pilot hole and then screwed them in. It came with all the hardware, so that's quite good. Hopefully you can see the chains up there. I was quite lucky, I've got some timber storage up here and it just managed to fit between there and the wall, and it sits above my, excuse the mess, workbench, so where I'll probably be generating most of the dust. Criticism I've got so far is the length of the cable. It's only just under 2 meters, which isn't really ideal as the unit needs to be up quite high, so I think it could probably do with being twice that length. I'll have to use some sort of extension, which I'd rather not do, but c'est la vie. Now that the filtration system's installed, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. I've got my air compressor hose and I'm going to basically create a bit of a dust storm in the garage and see how much dust the filtration system pulls through. But before I do it, I'm going to put this on. So I've created my dust storm. I've set the air filtration system to run for 4 hours and I'm going to get out of here before I poison myself. See you in a bit. It's actually a few days later now. I haven't been back in the garage since I put the air filtration system on, but this is the back of the unit and the filter. Hopefully you can see. Looks like it's absolutely covered in dust. So I'm going to take it off and actually look at the other filter inside it. I've just levered the primary filter out, and this is the inside. Doesn't look too bad considering the state of the outer filter, so looks like the outer filter does a fair bit, but I'm guessing this inner one filters out all the much finer particles. But I'm quite glad the job it seems to be doing, as all of that would have probably been going in my lungs if I wasn't careful. That's the end of this video. I have to say I'm quite pleased with the air filtration system. It seems to be doing a pretty good job, and for what Father Christmas paid, which was about £135, I don't think you can go wrong. It is at the budget end of the spectrum. In fact, I think it's the exact same model as one made by Record Power, so I think you could probably buy either one and still get the benefit. I think the Record Power one is a little bit more expensive than the Rutlands one, but I think the Rutlands one was on offer at the time, and I do believe it may have finished, so I'll put a link up to where you can buy the Rutlands one and the Record Power one. The link for the Record Power one will be on Amazon, so take a look at that if you're interested. My new vac has turned up as well, which has got an M-class filter and is a lot quieter, so I'm going to be getting that out and seeing what that's like. I'll make a video of that in case anyone else is interested, as again it's more towards the budget end of the vac spectrum, but the vac I've bought comes with some really good reviews and it's got a power takeoff on it and all sorts, so we'll see how that goes. If you found the video useful and interesting, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not a subscriber, it'd be great if you'd like to subscribe. I'll put some links up to my other videos and hopefully see you again soon.